Hello everybody, welcome to something I'm going to be trying to make a new series on the channel, a new monthly series at that, and in traditional Swagrid fashion, I'm late on the first episode. But this, hopefully, maybe, might be, Methods Monthly, where I'm going to be talking about different things that happen in different method spaces across the cubing world, because cubing is more than speed cubing, and methods are an interesting part of that. But I'm not going to be discussing what methods I think are best for speed solving. That conversation can just sit in a corner as far as I'm concerned. No, shut up. Wow, look at you, aren't you? Look, I'm uploading it, it's not on a Sunday. This is a DLC upload, this is bonus. Write this down, this is a first. Okay, so with my arrival time cleared, let's talk about the biggest story of the month. APB has absolutely exploded in popularity. Most of it originated from a video by Liam Heiderchuk, and APB has rapidly gained popularity since that video has dropped. The Discord server, a general conversation about it, a boom in YouTube videos, the method's gone quite big. APB itself is a Petrus variant that promises a lower move count than most speed solving methods, around 48 if I am correct, and it sort of brags about having automatic algorithmic block building with fewer alg than other approaches, like learning something like multi-slotting or like learning meta. APB aims to be a more accessible, more easily usable and straight up better version of, say, meta or other algorithmic Petrus methods. Whether this massive leap in popularity will actually stay and the method will sort of stick, as it were, or whether this is kind of a, burn the candle at both ends, that which shines the brightest will not burn through the night kind of situation, well, that's yet to be seen. I'll give you an update next month. So with the biggest story out of the way, let's move into what's been going on in the world of Roux. Now, in typical Roux fashion, most of the section will be focused around one-handed achievements, because that's where most of the focus on the speed solving in this method goes into. So the big developments are that Antonio Cam has won Canadian championships with a 990 average. This is kind of big because Roux one-handed, especially recently, tends to be a bit of a choke moment. Things have not been going particularly well. Farmy's not gotten the best averages. Zhuheng has had a potential that wasn't realised. It's all been a bit about we're capable of this, but we're not getting there. Anto has managed to punch through and actually win a national championships with the method. Let's go. I mentioned briefly there Zhuheng. Let's focus on him for a second. He choked the world record average one-handed with Roux. He had a counting 7 going into his 5th solve at the US National Championships, and he was on par to get another 7, 2 counting 7s. He got to CMLL at mid-4, it was Niklas, and he did a different algo that misoriented his edges and had a rough LSE. So with the world record average so tantalisingly close, come on, any time now. During the process, he did manage to get a 692 single, which is a pretty solid single, top 10 in the world. I'm sure there's a multi-way tie going on for the 692 time, actually. Let me go and check that. Yep, so currently Juliette Sebastian, Patrick Pont and Zhuheng Sun all have a 692 single, all tied in for 7th place in the world. Over in the world of two-handed, Sean Patrick Villanueva has managed to land himself in the top 10 worldwide by getting a 411 single. Very nice. And the rumour on the grapevine is that Farmy has returned to serious practice for Roux one-handed, so maybe we'll see something soon, maybe we won't. Rumours are as rumours are, so in the ZZ world, minimal progress as usual. Well, more focus has been put on genning multi-slotting sets, particularly to do with the front right and the back right pair at the same time. Orchestra is maintaining his own multi-slotting sheet of cases for front right and back right, I believe with the edge solve though I'm not entirely sure, and has genned fake BR cases where the front right slot is basically solved into back right. So that seems like a reasonably manageable set that you could maybe implement into your solves. This is good because too much focus on ZZ development has gone into finding wacky things to do in the last lot and last layer, none of which have really bared any fruit, but working on F2L, this is good. Speaking of wacky things, the last lot and last layer that bear no fruit, oh, it's time. So recently there's been a bit of an arms race in the ZZ community to learn OLS first. Philok is absolutely dominating the competition because they basically just learnt bad algs, whereas Orchestra and Sinewave are genning better algs for the cases and maintaining their own sheets to try and learn the set with love and care. Philox is just devouring algs for breakfast, I guess. Off of Orchestra's work in progress OLS sheet, I made a copy of it and I took all the cases that correspond to CLS. That is, all the cases where the edge is already solved and you basically just need to orient the remaining 5 corners and insert the DFR corner. And I made an OS sheet. For a long time, ZZOS has been an idea where you pick between OLS or setting up to ZBLL based on the case. I decided I would take a bunch of the alg sets that I want to use in my ideal solving, so that's PLL, TTLL, TTLL+, ZBLL, UT, and L, and I would make an OS sheet for those. So that's what I've done for CLS. The end result was not incredibly fruitful, but I will latch onto the copium that I didn't account for probability when making the calculation for the second half of last layer. We should drag it down because PLL is the most common and is also the most efficient. And hopefully as we branch out into wider OLS and not just CLS, it gets better. I hope it gets better. And then of course the only thing remaining to talk about is Philog absolutely devouring OLS. It's looking like that alg set might be completed by a human being very soon. Again, I'll give you an update next month. So that was the first installment of Methods Monthly concerning the month of July, coming out in August. I'm very punctual, but you know what? That's not my problem. You're the one that has to wait for me to upload this, so have fun.